Well, hello there everybody. How are you today? If you are watching the replay of this live, you can comment the word replay and you have another chance of winning a prize 24 hours after this goes live. But if you're joining me here live, hi, how are you? I am Sharon and I'm from the blog I Restore Stuff, and right here in Australia, in Brisbane. Let me know where you're watching from. Hi Mary, you're the first one to pop up on my screen today. How are you? So we'll just wait for some people to join in, but while you're waiting, I'll let those of you who are watching know what we'll be working on today is using, and it's going to be a Christmas decor. So I don't think it's ever too early to get organised. I know that we don't want to be decorating for Christmas just yet, but if you are a maker, then you may want to get prepared ahead of the season because, you know, you have craft stores and things to make things for. So we're going to be using the little wooden house, premium pine wood house today. Now these come with a roof that you just have to nail on or glue on, however you'd like to put it on. But we painted all, decorated all first. You can use the beautiful Essential Stencils with them. Hi Carla, how are you? Watching from Ohio. Diane's here, Dorothy's here. Whimsically Knotted is always here. Hi Anne. And Sue's here. Awesome. Good evening from West Virginia, Joy. Hi Tracy. Okay, so we're going to be using our little wooden house today. You can use the Essential Stencils on these. You can also use the beautiful transfers, rub-on transfers, which work beautifully with this idea as well. Some of those beautiful birdcage transfers would work lovely on these. But today I'm going to be doing something Christmassy on one side and something just for ordinary house decor on the other side, because I like to do those things for seasonal or holidays. I love to be able to have something reversible that you can just turn around and do something on the other side that you can have all year round and then bring it around with seasons. So chop and change it. With the roof, there's a couple of different ways to set that. So I'll probably decide on that later on when I think about how I'm going to put the roof on to make it that two-sided look, because you can either have the roof with the house forward or back or in the centre. So I'm thinking about doing it in the centre. Then you'd have to find some kind of other way to hang it. So if you've got ideas for me today, let me know. Wow, hi Donna. Yes, interested in see how I'll be using the house. You're going to get one. Oh, yours is arriving Monday. That's amazing. Awesome. So good. All right. Now there's two stencil sets that I'll be using today, and one of them is the name's not on here, but it is called the Christmas Nativity mini set, and that comes with 3 different stencils. It's a 3-pack, 6-inch by 6-inch. Let me just refresh my page here so I can see our live. Excuse me. There we are. Sue says, I love reversible ideas. Yes, so do I. Multi-purposes. All right, the Nativity Christmas mini set has a few things in it, and this is the one I'm going to be using today because I think it'll look so cute in the little house, don't you think? Then we've also got the 2 other signs here. We've got the Come Let Us Adore Him and Oh Holy Night, all of which would work beautifully with our little wooden house that I'm going to be showing you on today. Yes, Evelyn says, love the house. Yeah, there's the houses are back in stock, so get yours 10% off using my code I Restore Stuff. I will mention that right here at the beginning of our live. This is the code that you need, I Restore Stuff, to get you 10% off all of Essential Stencil's site, plus 50% off the first month in the Stencil of the Month Club. Also, I'd love you to do this, share the live if you can, and this is where you'll find me on all my social medias, is at I Restore Stuff. Hi, Annelle from Colorado. Oh, you haven't seen me on Facebook in forever. So glad that you could jump on this week. So we're going to be using this gorgeous one for our mini house today, as well as my reversible is going to be something from our Stencil of the Month Club for August. Here's the add-on. If you are not familiar with the Stencil of the Month Club, you get 3-piece sets. So here are the three stencils that you get in the club. Huge, 12 by, is it 12 by 6? No, 12 by 16, I believe. It's not on there. But you get 3 huge sets with lots of words, lots of sayings, and they all interchange and mix together. Plus, you can have an optional add-on. Now, the add-on has been so popular this month, no one wants to skip it because it's this gorgeous, gorgeous design pattern. Patterns are good for so many fun projects. You can use them as backgrounds for your stencil signs. Use them on furniture, all sorts of things. Backgrounds for the backing of your bookcases. Back there in the background, you put a stencil on there, patterned. All right, so from the Stencil of the Month Club set, I'm going to be using, there's a few different sayings. Welcomes is the theme, or not welcome really, because there's some funny signs on here. Welcome-ish, depends on who you are. Welcome, just kidding, go away. Now, bienvenidos. Did I say that correctly, my Spanish-speaking friends? Then we've got a whole bunch of welcome patio rules in the set as well. And then there's this set here, which I'll be using this gorgeous verse down here for my reverse side of the stencil today. And it's a verse from Joshua 24:15 from the Bible that says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Perfect for the little house, don't you think? So we use that on the reverse side. Let's get started with our house. Now, I did have to do a bit of a head start just to get myself going here so that we don't spend all day watching paint dry. So I've painted here with just a really dark blue. It kind of looks black. It's almost like it's midnight blue. Now, I usually use Fusion Mineral paints on my lives, and then on the other side it looks white, but it's not. It's actually a colour called Mist, one of the newer colours from Fusion Mineral paint. And that is it there. It's the colour Mist, and it's a really very pale blue. So I'm just going to, first of all, do my second coat. Now, the Midnight Blue has amazing coverage. In fact, that's just one coat, and that just covered straight away. The Mist, it does look covered, but I feel like I can still see a little bit of grain of the wood there. So I'm just going to do another coat on that. Oh, and I've gotten a little bit of paint on from my board here, so that'll all cover up. Now with the roof, I'm going to be using a fun metallic colour, and I thought I'd keep that metallic colour going all around the sides here. So let's get stuck into it. Hi Becky, it's your first time to see me, just figuring out how to find me. You're excited, that's awesome. Yes, so I go live at the same time every week on the Essential Stencil page. My page is called I Restore Stuff, where I love to upcycle and paint furniture and decor. And so I love upcycling wood for making signs and things like that as well. So, but these little timber houses are from Essential Stencil, and they are beautiful for making all sorts of craft and home decor. So I'm just painting on here Fusion Mineral paint in the colour Mist. And I'm going right to the edges. Some of you might be wondering, how does she do that without getting it all dribbling down the edges? So see how I just brush off the ends of the wood there, and then I'm just going to use some nice long strokes. So if you are painting furniture and you've never done that before, here's some of my painting tips that I share on my page, I Restore Stuff page, is when you're going to the edge of a piece of furniture, you just go off the edge, and then when I'm coming back this side, we're just kind of feathering the part here, and then you sort of start at the edge and come across like that. So that's how we don't get it on dribbling down the edges there. If I started the paintbrush off the side and came this way, then you would dribble a whole bunch on there. So that's the colour Mist. It's a gorgeous pale blue, just like Mist. So that's that. I did forget to get my piece of cardboard. Tori, see if she can hear me. I just need a piece of cardboard, please, to offload my paintbrush. That's like the number one thing that I need every time I do a live, and I forget. So we have so many moving boxes here. I just got some little bits and pieces. Thank you, that'll be fine. Or you could use one of your pieces of cardboard from the stencils that are like their backing pieces. We could do that also. All right, so just going to dry that super quickly. Now for the roof, Becky says that was a great tip on not dribbling the paint. Yeah, so someone was just saying they'd love to learn how to refinish furniture. I have so many blog posts on my website. That's irestorstuff.com. You can find all sorts of tips on painting furniture. And if you're brand new to painting, I've got a whole a tab in the menu that says, are you new to painting? Start here. And so that's where you can start to have a look at how to paint furniture. Now for the roof, I'd love to use, while that's just sort of drying and so on, I'll use this beautiful, from Fusion again, metallic vintage gold. So it's a metallic colour, and I thought it'd be fun to use that on the roof. So I just need another brush, although I've got one over here. And so this one I may have to do in stages. So while that's drying, I'll go back to, painting the house. It's a gorgeous vintage gold. So I don't know what colour it sort of looks on there. Now remember, we don't need to paint that bit, but we're painting the roof. I don't know, it can kind of look, let me see if I can get that up a bit closer. It's quite thick, the way that I'm putting it on right now. It's probably, it is water-based, so you can just grab the mister and sort of help to spread that out a bit. You have to be careful with metallics because these ones especially have mica in them, little tiny mica, and it's almost like glitter within the paint. So if you're brushing too much and you're going backwards and forwards, it's good to sort of go in one direction all the way along. Now, this is going to be a little tricky for me to hold this at the same time, so we may have to come back and do this in stages. Let that side dry. Oh, it is a bit tricky. So yeah, if you brush it all the one way, then those the little mica bits will all lay down like that. Some people have trouble and think, oh gosh, it's just all looking like you've got lots of brush strokes on there. So, but if you try and do your brush strokes, your final strokes all the one way, and work quickly too, because paint does dry fast. And I will be doing the underneath part of these as well, because you will still see some of that, oops, underneath the house. Becky is asking, how long does it take to dry? The Fusion mineral paints are quite quick drying. To be touch dry, within 20 minutes or so usually, but or even quicker, depending on how you use them. See, when I'm stenciling with it, it's actually very quick because I use a dry brush with hardly any paint on it. But if you're trying to do thicker coats and lots of layers, let's see if I can grab this and move it across, because I've got to wait for that to dry. I do have a hairdryer here to help me if it doesn't dry fast enough. But that is the colour Vintage Gold, and we'll do a little more on that in a minute. Meanwhile, I get my super-de-duper plastic bag idea. If you haven't seen this, these are those bubbles that you can, great big huge bubbles that you get in your packaging sometimes. I cut the tops off, and then they make the best little paintbrush bags to hold your paintbrush while you're in between coats so it doesn't dry out. Perfect. Love recycling, love upcycling. Oh, there we go. That was a little piece of glass. I don't know where that came from. All right, so on our little house, so we've got the wooden house that we're working on today. I've painted this in that midnight blue colour. Oh, I need to get... The thing with the really flat matte paint is that it catches fingerprints. So then I've just got to dust that off a bit. Lay that down, making sure I don't get my blue dirty on any vintage gold that happens to be in here right now. Didn't think about that. Okay, and we're going to use our manger scene, so a bit Christmassy, and we're also doing another one in a minute, so don't go anywhere. And at the end we've got prizes, guys, so also don't go anywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's see, I had thought about this last night. I'm going to put some words on the roof, maybe come let us, and then adore him, I think fits beautifully right here. And I may put the stars up a little higher with this star up right up the top. So, oh, my blue tape, let me see if I can reach it. Oh my goodness, guys. Where did I put my blue tape? I might just have to hold on to this. Now, I used the blue colour mist on the other side here, and that's the one I'm going to use here on the front because it's so white or light that it'll stand out against the dark midnight blue. Let me just lay this piece of card down because I feel like there could be some wet paint there. Hello, Mary. How are you? Thanks for saying hello. Yeah, the colours with the gold are going to look great. So just popping this on here so that it doesn't get anything else. It's a little bit closer to where you can see it. Here's the colour mist. It's a fusion mineral paint. If you want to know where to get fusion from, I do have an affiliate link I'd love to give you. So just please leave a comment and I will get back to them later and send you the link for that. Okay, so I am just now, Tori has brought me a cardboard box, like a literal box. So let's see if I can use that to wipe off my paint with. It may not be practical. I might just have to do it on here. But here's my moving box, guys. Can you see that here in the background? It works. So I'm offloading the paint as much as I can right here. And then I'm holding this really still and I'm just being very careful not to paint the star here because I'm going to do the star somewhere else up the top. And we're going to be really careful not to do... Oh, and I didn't do the sides here. I'm going to do those in that metallic colour, I feel like, afterwards. It is a bit tricky to try and get the coverage on there without going over the edges when you're trying to do edges and things. So you could use some painter's tape to make that happen nicely and seamlessly. Let's see, get another little dip. Offload it onto my cardboard box. Here's our moving boxes. We've unpacked. We're in the new house. Still got boxes everywhere, guys. How long does it take? Does anyone know? Got to find places for everything. We downsized, so it's a little bit tricky. Yeah, don't forget to use the code iRestoreStuff to get you 10% off all of the Essential Stencil products, plus 50% off their Stencil of the Month Club. This is the cutest little manger scene, and I think it's going to look great in this little house for a Christmas decor. Let's see. Little baby Jesus there. And I'm using this blue mist colour against a gorgeous dark midnight blue sky. And then we've got the, what is it called? Vintage gold for the roof. Okay, so we've got our manger scene here. I'm going to shift the stars up and use this also from the same set as this mini set. So there we go. There's our manger scene coming to life here. And if you missed earlier what I said we were going to be doing, I'm going to be doing something on the reverse side. So, oh yes, thank you, Christine. You'll get unpacked and organised one room at a time. That's what I feel like. I've got my bedroom looking okay, so at least there's that. So I want to do these stars up the top. I'm thinking also of doing them in the metallic, but I may do an underlying coat of yellow to just make that really pop. But maybe I'll try and put the words adore him here. And we don't have to have the word, the letter O, come let us adore him. It can just say come let us adore him. So I think I'm going to put come let us on the roof, and then this adore him part right here. That's what I was going to do. I can do this. So this is another tip. If you don't have painter's tape and you want to cover up words, so I'm going to cover up that word because I don't want to accidentally get that on here, and then I'll cover up this so that I don't accidentally get it down there. So dipped my brush in the paint. Let us know if you've never stenciled before and you are stenciling using Essential Stencils for the first time, or if you've got your order ready to come and you're just too nervous to use them. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to encourage you. I always tell people to just practice using a piece of cardboard. You can even use the cardstock that comes with the stencils to do a bit of a practice on. So see how now that the paint is going on the card and not in the next window. I'm going to see if I can just offload this on my plastic here a little bit. It's not as ideal as cardboard. Oops, yep, see it leaves a lot more paint on if I do that, which isn't great. So therefore I'm just going to what do you call this? Stipple it just a little bit longer to get that paint out of the brush before I can swirl it. I do prefer swirling, but you have to have a really dry brush to do that. So offloading on cardboard is better. So I may have some little furry lines if I don't offload it properly, which I just offloaded onto this plastic core flute instead of on my cardboard box over there, just to see, because I was lazy and didn't want to pick it up again. Oh, it's not too bad. I think we've done okay. So we've got adore him. Now, popping this aside, this brush aside, I can put it in the same bag as my mist colour paintbrush, which I used for the other side. And then I'm going to use some yellow. So this is Little Star. You can use any acrylic paint for your stenciling. I prefer to use a bit of a thicker paint infusion because it's a furniture paint. It's a nice, solid, strong, flat matte paint. So that's the one I use. Now I might just use this colour, this size brush. Now you can get all the brushes from Essential Stencil as well. There's a set of 4. They are brilliant for stenciling. A lot of people comment in the comments when I'm using the brushes and say how much they love their brushes compared to other stencil brushes they've used. I'm just offloading onto cardboard, guys. It just happens to be a massive cardboard box because that's what was handy. My stars, here they are. Oh, there's a large star here. I think it's the same as this one. Pretty much. We could just use that one. Let's see if this one's slightly smaller for this word here. It is. So we'll just use this guy. Got it in the center. Now I'm using yellow, and I'm thinking I might use that antique gold over the top of the yellow. The yellow will just give any metallic gold colours anyway, a good underbase, but it may just turn out that the yellow is really nice and just pops. I think I'll add another star down here too. We can add our stars. Now this star is going off the edge, so I probably don't want to use that one there, but I can just easily shift the stencil over and use my star and add it down here. You could add it wherever you like, really. Offloading the brush. We have winners to choose at the very end of our live, so don't go anywhere. And if you are new here, we'd love to know if you've never tried stenciling before. Maybe it's the first time watching one of our lives today also, so let us know in the comments if that's you. And I'd love to encourage you. Practice, practice, practice. Oops. Always offload the paint, the excess paint off your brush. There we go. So we'll let that dry a little bit. There's the bright yellow stars there. See, that looks cute just like it is with those stars up there. We've got Adore Him. And don't forget, I've painted the other side in a nice light blue, so we want to do something with that also. Next, I'm going to just do another coat on my, where's my gold paint? Here it is. It's vintage gold. It's a fusion mineral paint colour. Just pop that aside so I can get this ready. And we'll do the other sides of our vintage gold. So here it is. Oops, I do have a little bit of paint excess on the edge there. I can wipe that off. I did go over the edge, guys. All right, so that's fairly dried right now. So then I'm going to do the other three sides I think I've got here. And just in this metallic vintage gold. Thank you, Trina. I have a sister named Trina, so that's a familiar name. Thank you, guys. I will have a read of the comments after, so if you do have questions, please ask. And if someone else in the live doesn't answer or can't answer for you, I'm only too happy to. I always go back through just making sure I haven't missed any important questions, because I know that you guys really value these lives and being able to know, best tips for stenciling and so on. There we go, over the edge. You just got to make sure that that's all smooth over the edge there. And as I mentioned before, earlier when I painted the other sides, this is quite a thick sort of paint, and I think it's just because I've used half the pot, so as it dries in the pot, it does get a bit thicker. You can add a little drizzle of water and mix it up and give it a nice swirl around or a good stir. I use a little mini whisk. Okay, so here's our roof. Now this is the underside of the roof because this is where we're going to join it. So we really don't need to paint the join, although some people like to just go over the edge just in case you can sort of see through those little joint bits. Grab this part. Now on the other side, I'm going to be using our Stencil of the Month design for August, which has some beautiful welcome sign, funny ones actually. There's some funny welcome signs in that. If you're not in the Stencil of the Month Club, you can still see all of the designs. You can see what's available in there. They're all exclusive to the Stencil of the Month Club subscribers, but you can get 50% off your first month using my code here, I Restore Stuff, and it's just stencilofthemonthclub.com. All of that is in the description of the live. Any links you want to find, you can see in the description of our live. There we go. So we've got our metallic roof happening. Can pop that lid on. Now I think while I've got, I should have put this in a wet cloth or in a plastic bag also. While I've got the stars going here, I was thinking, do I leave them yellow or put that metallic on them? I may even just leave them yellow. Let's have a look at what this looks like if I just pop that over here. Now because I've already got vintage gold on this brush here, and it's not really a stencil brush, I just wanted to see for this beautiful bright star, because it's a kind of a bronzy gold, it may not stand out as much. So I'm just going to touch it, just a little touch with the metallic, and see how that looks. Not doing a full stencil over it. Now I haven't done the other ones beside it, but it just gives it a little sparkle. I'm not sure if it shows on the video, but I can see it. Just gives it a little extra twinkle. I might just leave the other ones yellow. Okay, so there's my little plastic bag trick again. We'll just pop that in there in case we needed to go over any of these with other colours. I will have to come back to this to put on the final words that I want to use for this stencil, but let's turn it over onto the other side. First I'll just make sure it's dried properly while I just check if there's any comments, questions that I need answering. Yeah, everyone's agreeing the yellow looks great. Yeah, so we'll probably just leave that yellow. The gold does kind of give it a bit of a sparkle, so, and it's good having that yellow base underneath. It makes the gold stand out. Thank you, Diane. Don't forget, if you're watching the replay, you can comment the word replay and also go in for a chance at winning a prize at the end of our live, after the live's over, 24 hours after the live. Okay, so I do have a little bit of metallic paint right there. Let me see if I can grab that off my, it was just sitting here somewhere and it's gotten on my board. I could probably sand it off later or just kind of go over that. See if there's any more paint lying around. We don't want it. We don't want it on there. Let me pop some plastic down there. Okay, so I've got this side dry now. Now I'm going to work on the reverse side. I think I may do this after the live is over, is paint that, because I have to have much more of a steady hand, and paint the outsides this vintage gold to match that. So I've painted this whole side in the colour Mist. That's that really pale blue Fusion Mineral Paint colour. Whoop, there you go, there's the word Mist. I've got an affiliate link for that, so let me know if that is you and you'd love to know where you can get Fusion. No, Brenda, it's not the new ones. They're newish, but they were out last year. Okay, I just mentioned briefly before the Stencil of the Month Club for August. Still available for the next 12 days, I think, or 11 days, whatever we're up to. Comes with these 3 lots and lots of welcome ideas. There's a patio rules sign, sit and relax, appreciate this day, feel the breeze. I mean, you could use any of those one-liners for a sign in itself. Then there's this fun sign here that's got all the words for hello in different languages up the top. We've got a welcome to our home, please leave by 9 p.m. And then you've got this one, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, from Joshua 24:15, and I'm going to use that right here, front and center on our house. Now this roof shape that is already on the stencil doesn't quite fit the roof shape for this house, so I'm just going to leave that off. But I've got something else in mind to decorate the sides here, which I think will turn out perfectly. So let's have a look. And I'm going to use coal black in the Fusion Mineral Paints, just one of their black colours. I could have used the Midnight Blue, but I don't have that beside me right now. So I will use this little piece of card to stop that from getting on there, and I don't have my painter's tape, so I'm just going to do as best I can. I'm going to try and put this sort of the centre of the house, so it's perfect for this sign. All right, once again, dipping my paint in the brush, offloading a little bit on the lid, and here's my cardboard box. I'm just going to offload my black paint on there, just sort of working it around in the bristles of the brush, holding it really still, making sure we've got it in the right place. I'm going to start up the top here where I've got this house roof that I'm trying to avoid, and make sure I've got that where I can go smoothly, round and round in circles. Need to do a little bit more. I'm going to hope that stays very still. Let's pop this on. Offloading my brush onto my moving box. I just say yay for an empty moving box. We've finally emptied a few. Okay, we're going to go this way now. So we've got a little heart and a little roof line there that I'm just covering up for this, this project. And now I can go on with the rest of my words here. Fairly smoothly. I don't know if you can hear that. There's builders building houses all around us because we're in a brand new estate. So all you can hear, tradies, we call them here in Australia, trade workers. I don't know, in Australia we're always adding, shortening words. Hi Leslie, thanks for commenting. Yes, Maggie's asking about the roof and how to glue that on. I will probably glue and nail. So I've got a brad nailer, but you can use some tiny nails, like really thin nails, and just pop them in there. After you nail, you could putty them up and then repaint that section, but they're not too noticeable. But yes, you could use ordinary, like a wood glue, and just hold them there, making sure it's held for a really long time. I just feel like a nail gun, if you had one, or it doesn't have to be a nail gun, you could use actual hammer and a nail. Old school way, manual way of doing it. But they'd have to be really sort of tiny nails, thin nails anyway. Okay, so this is from the Stencil of the Month Club for August. So if you're not in the Stencil of the Month Club, you can join with 50% off your first month today using my code iRestoreStuff right here. And there are a few different subscription types. I think you can join from 1 to 6 months to 12 months. Stencil of the Month Club. Different tiers. But each month you'll get a set of 3 stencils, just like these, which all combine and have a similar theme. So this one is like welcome signs. Hello and welcome signs this month. And then you also get to be in their Facebook group, which is such an inspiration. So many people find that the Facebook group is so beneficial. So if you're a club member, give a shout out for the Stencil of the Month Club, because I know how much you love it. Being able to see each other's inspirational designs, getting tips from others who are in the group and what they are doing with the stencils and the transfers and the little wooden houses. Okay guys, here is our stencil on there. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Isn't that cute? If you've just joined me, we've also done on the other side Christmas theme with the manger nativity scene there. So we're still working on that because we've got a couple more bits on that side to do, but see how we can just kind of flip and work on one side at a time. Now the other thing that I was going to add here is, if you notice on here, it does have a roof on this part here. We just left that off because it sort of didn't fit with the roof line of this house. It was a little bit off center, or not off center, it was just a different shape. And so I'm going to use these little edges. Here, we'll put this behind it. See the little, I don't know, it's just kind of little wheat branches or something. It makes a nice bracket around our words. So I think I'm going to use that on either side. Let's see how that fits. Perfect. Yes, it fits perfectly. So I'll probably center it. Oh, I don't know if I center it to the verse or center it to the sides. Might have to center it. Make it a little bit lower. I'll just do my own thing, hey? I'll just do my own thing and just put it wherever I think. So I'm going to cover these words here because I don't want them in the way of what I'm stenciling on here. I'm just using the same brush just to see how much paint is left on that. Nope, not a lot, so we'll just have to dip that again. Offload it onto our cardboard box. And we've got our gorgeous. Now, with the other side, I could use the one on the other side, or to save the cleaning up, I can use exactly the same one and just turn it around like so. I've probably got enough on my brush that that's going to work just as well. Okay, let's see. I'm going to make it exactly the same as the other side. Eyeballing it. Who else isn't eyeballer? Let's just, I reckon that's about there. Okay, here we go. And I've got to place this on here to not get those words in the picture. Using the stain brush, we have just enough paint on there, I think. Oh, could have done with a little bit more paint. Let's hope it hasn't moved. Nope, hasn't moved. We're good. We're good to go. So, little wooden houses. Who's played with these already? They are so cute. Available in essentialstencil.com. Use my code IRestoreStuff, get 10% off. That includes the wooden houses with the little roofs, includes all the mini tags, includes the brush sets, everything. So, and there is free shipping over a certain dollar amount. So I often, remind people of that too, because, that if you just add sometimes just extra brushes or whatever that you might need, it can just tip you over to that free shipping point. There we go. Look at that. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Can't wait to put the roof on. But let's flip that over. Let's have a look. See, make sure that's completely dry first. Pop that in there. Let me know what you think. Yeah, Maggie's saying she'd love to try one of the wooden houses too, yeah. They are so cute. And they can be hung, like you could put a picture hanger on the back of them, or you can, sort of put a hook on the top if you're just using the roof in the centre of them, or you can stand them. So they stand quite easily for some of those beautiful tiered tray ideas. They work perfectly for that. Whoops, meant to turn that off. Okay, so let's go back to our Adore Him. And here is our roof, all painted with the vintage gold on there. So the roof sits on like this. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? It's adorable, but we're going to put some words on that roof for this side. And I'll show you the roof bit in a minute. So this is going to have to be dark, not white. Well, we could do white, and let's see how that works. Let's see, where's our white? Oh, it's our mist, that's right. Mist is the colour that we used for that. And where's our words? There they are. Come, let us. I think we do come and then let us. That should work. So I didn't have my painter's tape here. Just dip that in the paint. I think it'll be cute. All right, here's our cardboard we're offloading on this. Should have thought about that earlier. So just using the word come on this side, making sure it's nice and straight, covering up those words there and holding it really firmly. Let's see how this white turns out. If this doesn't work, see, we can always add the dark. Wish I'd gotten that midnight blue and left it here at the table, but I've got the coal black and that would work just as fine. Oh, I think that stands out enough. Let's see, you probably can't see it from there, but there we go. So we could always add to that. We could create this colour could be the shadow, and then let us over this side, just using it up the top, approximately the same size as that. Oop. It's not balancing. Let me get my brush ready. Offloading the brush, and it's got to be centered just right. Holding it still. And there we go. Too easy. could use this as a bit of a shadow and then add a dark colour to make it stand out even more. I think it's nice and subtle though. Let's have a look, see what you think. Come, let us adore him. I think I like the subtleness so that it doesn't take away from the image and the picture. I think I like it. What do you think? Okay, so with the roof, let's discuss the roof. You can do a couple of different things. I've got to put my brush in sometimes pop it in a bit of a wet cloth so it doesn't dry out. So I could put the roof at the centre, and then we've still got, this is okay for the back, we've got our As for Me and My House, we will serve the Lord. See how I've got that leaning right, oh sorry, it's not in the centre, it's leaning right forward over the manger scene, and then at the back it's flush with the back. Or we could centre it. Let me just try that. Centering it to see how that looks. Let's pop my lids on there. So again, you can just glue, put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue on here, stick it on there, hold it, clamp it, but I would always also probably put some nail gun or just some small nails in through that. You know, only need 2 on each side to hold that together. Now I will be doing my sides, you can see that they're bare timber right now. I will be doing sides the same antique gold, no, what is it? Yeah, vintage gold on there. So now I'm putting it in the center. Let's see if it is the center. I can't see. So see how I've put the roof right in the center of the house. So that way it'll stand beautifully there, and it'll stand lovely nicely the other way as well. I'm trying to twist my arms around, but you can just stand it on a mantle or on a tiered tray, and your roof is now centered and comes over both sides. I do like that idea, so I did my last one. You can look back at some of my lives, and the last time I did a house, I did it going right forward like that, and so it was flush. So you could hang then, put a hanger on the back side and hang that against the wall. But because this is a reversible one, I think I like the idea of putting it in the center. Now to hang it, you could still probably do that, but who's got suggestions for that, you know? There could be some of you suggesting some ideas for hanging that. So once you've got it nailed, glued, I imagine you could put one of those little tiny eyelet hooks here and put a little rope or a bow. So you could do a rope and then tie a nice bow at the top and hang it that way. That would work. Let's see if you've got any other ideas for hanging that. I do like it in the center too, and especially for this project where it's reversible, so we could just sit it on a mantle or any which way. We could sit it on a mantle this way. Let's have a look at that back again. And again, I'll be painting those sides the same color as the roof. I'll do that after the live, so you don't have to sit here and watch paint dry. But there's the one from the Stencil of the Month Club August. Who is going to join the Stencil of the Month just because of that? It is really good value. Every month, projects right to your door, and then there's one ready for Christmas so that you will be organized. Or if you're a crafter, you might like that idea to sell in your craft making. I mean, if you're a crafter that sells their products, you know, it is probably time to start getting ready for some of that Christmas decor merchandise if you're selling at markets and things like that. So this stencil set is perfect for this little manger scene. I think that works beautifully. So guys, let's see if we had any other ideas. I will have to have a look because they're just scrolling. Can you buy just that one sheet, Maggie? No, for the Stencil of the Month Club, they come with all of the different sheets. So it comes with 3 different sheets. But look at all the things that you can do with these. You can have the word welcome and use these flourishes, the leaves. There's so many wreaths and different flourishes that you can use for other things. Look at that gorgeous one down there with the butterfly. You could put a whole nother word in that one. So you can just have the welcome. You could have welcome to our home and leave out the bottom part of the saying. You know, you don't have to use all of the parts of the stencils. So many different ideas that you can use for that. You are so welcome, guys. Now we are going to be looking for some prize winners any second now. Let me have a look, see if I can see who the winners are. Essential Stencil will be picking them out in a minute. But don't forget, all of the things that I've used today, just go to that link that I've got in the description of the live and you'll be able to find them there. You can type in search terms like wooden house. Essential Stencil has pinned that one to the top. You can type in Nativity, and that will come up with the Nativity stencil. And then to find the Stencil of the Month set, just go to stencilofthemonth.com and you'll be able to find that one there. And don't forget to use my code, I Restore Stuff, and you will be able to get 50% off your first month. So there's the code. Thank you so much for sharing the live, guys. Now, our winners have been announced. Let me see who they are. Oops, it's not coming up on my... Oh, there they are. They've just popped up. Melissa and Jackie and Sandra. Sandra Hennigan. Now, Sandra, it doesn't look like you were tagged in that. We may be able to edit that. But Sandra, if anyone knows Sandra, please tag her. Please let her know that she's a winner. The winners are all pinned to the top of that comment right there. And congratulations, because you've won something from Essential Stencils. Now, if you will watch the replay within the next 24 hours, there's another chance, big hint there, there's another chance of winning. So don't forget to share it you may be a winner on our live replay. So there's that. There's what we made today using the house, which also comes from Essential Stencil. We used our brushes from Essential Stencil. We used the stencils, so many wonderful things. Go find them on essentialstencil.com. Use my code I Restore Stuff. And I will see you again next week, same time, 7 p.m. CST, Wednesday night. And we will see you then. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.